Hello, hello. Welcome to episode 23, Digital ILIAD. We're making an FTL-like game in Godot. Sorry for starting the stream a little late. Jackie Codes just went live for the first time since GDC. I wanted to hang out there for a little bit, hear about her time at GDC. I was very lucky enough to meet her there. The Godot engine community manager introduced us, which is really awesome. The Godot presence on Twitch is like really great nowadays, and it's really a privilege to be involved in that on any level, especially as like such a small newbie streamer. Hey, Tune Inner Nerds, GDC was amazing. We got a lot of information, a lot of ideas. We avoided getting sick. So overall, it was a great success. Just really great. Saw some really interesting talks. Met some really cool developers. Yeah, avoided it so far. Trademark. I'm up to date on all my shots. And I ride public transportation all the time, so I feel like I have like a immune system of steel. So I think I'll be okay. But yeah, it was really great. The Godot booth was really cool. We met some really great people. I was just saying how I got to meet Jackie Codes, which was amazing. I got to meet some other devs, which was really great. Some who I know virtually, and some who I've never gotten to interact with ever. So that was amazing. We've got it's kind of set the tone, I think, for the remainder of the year, as far as like what I want to accomplish before the next GDC, which is like kind of above and beyond. This is my little, I've started trying to use Obsidian because it seems really awesome. So I started putting together a Digital ILIAD Obsidian page, but here's our 2024 goals here. We're gonna make a game trailer, but not like a full game trailer, like a glorified GIF, like Derek Liu has talked about, which is a really great article. Old article, but a good one. The simplest trailer to make for your Steam page, just like a minimum viable product for your trailer. Because he gave a really good talk today, last week, called Make the Trailer Before You Make the Game, which was like a really interesting talk about visually prototyping a game that's marketable. And I thought that was really interesting. I also got to listen to a talk from Chris Zukowski, and a similarly cross-linked, here are all the links. So these are some older blogs, but they're talking about a lot of the same stuff. So that's for the minimum viable product like trailer. It cross-links to this article by Chris Zukowski that's from a similar age, about getting your Steam page up as early as possible. And I actually talked to some developers that backed this up, that said that their conversion rate from wish lists from like 4 years before launch were as likely, if not more likely, to convert to sales than recent wish lists. So apparently there is no expiration date on wish lists in Steam. So that's my other goal, is as soon as I have this MVP trailer, we're going to put up a Steam page. And then lastly, we're going to go for like I'm calling it a vertical slice, but Thomas Salah, who's actually launching a game today, Bulwark, the Falconeer Chronicles, is launching today. Really great game. He gave a talk about a thing called an evolving demo, which was about, as an alternative to early access, you basically create a demo, you put it on Steam, and then you just continue to update it over time. Yeah, you heard that too. Yeah, you just got a page up. That's awesome. Even though you won't launch for another year or more. I'm gonna go find that on Steam. Gotta wish list that. But yeah, this is the evolving demo is an interesting idea, and I think for an FTL game, making a vertical slice is like pretty doable, because if I can just put together a single encounter, like a single spaceship encounter, just like a full fight, just like our ship, maybe one or two enemy ships, and then just polish the hell out of that one encounter, I think I can communicate a lot about the game and make a pretty playable vertical slice that should help us make our game trailer. So these are all very interdependent, and I think these are my kind of 3 pillars. So I've got about a year to achieve all of this, I think, which is kind of a lift. Do you then just remove the demo and publish it as the full game? How do you manage the switch? No, you can put up demos on the same Steam page as your game. I think it only gets tricky when you try to do like a beta and you have like a separate beta page, but I think Steam has gone a long way to supporting that with the same Steam page, but I don't think I would ever really remove the demo. I think part of the purpose of this evolving demo is that it's living and that you keep updating it, because every time you update the demo, everyone who has downloaded the demo actually gets one of those Steam updates on the top of their library on that update feed. So it's a real good way to both bring in new people and also re-engage people who already expressed interest. So I think that's like a really interesting idea. Yeah. Okay, well, what else are we doing today? We're gonna work on like what I'm calling a cutaway system, which is basically a system to let us peel back layers of the game or of the game board so that we can see inside the ship, a la like a Life Aquatic style, like a Wes Anderson set design cutaway kind of thing. It's trivial to do it top to bottom because we can just use tile map layers for it, but the side to side system is a little more complicated because we basically need a tile map that is only the visible elements, but we also need a tile map or something like a tile map that stores the state of the invisible parts. And we also want to do something like this. We also need a canonical state of the tile map, also for camera rotations, which I want to implement. So today we're going to focus on being able to peel back layers of this tile map. I figure we just use this one because it's the one that we have that looks the best if left just on screen, our skull and crossbones, because I'm not happy with this as a level design. This terraced, you can see everything all the time look. It's super level dependent, or it's very much dependent on what's in the back. Like, we still can't see most of the cargo hold down here at the bottom. And so I think this was an interesting experiment, but I think I want to head more into the direction of like really dense level design, because there really isn't interesting pathfinding here. Everything is very dependent on this vertical lift space, and there's really no choices to make as far as like how you get someone from A to B. So I don't think we're going to go in this direction for long, because we can barely use any of the volume. So we're going to use a more dense level design ultimately, but that means we need a really robust system for cutting away parts of the level so that we can see further into the ship. I think we're going to address it partly with a camera rotation so that you can turn the ship around and look at the other side, and partly we're going to address it with what I'm calling a cutaway system to peel back layers of the tile map. So that's what we're going to be working on today. But anyway, that's me. How's your own development going, Two Nerdy Nerds? What did I do last night? Oh yeah, I just made a simple input force accumulator thing that right now I think it just works based on joystick actions, but we should set it up to also accept keyboard motion. So we kind of don't want up, down, left, right. We don't want this anymore. We want to add WASD to the cutaway controls. It's first left. Okay, so A. No, we don't. We want to add A. I don't know if we want the physical key code. We want just key code. I guess we want the physical position right now. I guess it doesn't really matter right now. Glad to hear I had a great time. Yeah, thank you. You're still plodding along, trying to get a Steam demo ready. Rock on. Still loads to do, but you're moving forward. Oh, streaming has been going well. Putting some more eyes on your game. That's awesome. Yeah, it is a huge motivation boost. Yeah, it's a very good motivation boost, and for me, it keeps me accountable, because, like, you know, I got a day job that takes up a lot of my time, but setting aside these few hours in the morning just as definite game dev time is really great. I mean, it's a little rough that it's only 2 hours every morning, because that means in 1 month I get about 1 week of full-time development done, which is not enough. So I need to find some more time throughout the rest of the day, especially on the weekend for dev. But it's a start. Okay, so we can do this with my keyboard now. Don't have to use the joystick, which I don't have plugged in right now. Let me grab Leonardo. Where's Leonardo? Leonardo. So I was mocking this up. So this is kind of, I think, how our control scheme is going to work. So our cursor controls are super simple. You know, we'll use the mouse cursor or a joystick. These are actually reversed, so the cursor is going to be on the left joystick. The cutaway is going to be on the right joystick. I should flip that in here. But the easy part is the cursor is like trivial because it's axis aligned correctly. The cutaway is based on the isometric tilemap axes, so that's a little more complicated. So we have to worry about that. I definitely am trying to make this game controller native. Like, obviously I need it to work well on mouse and keyboard, but I'm trying to keep console controllers in mind from the get-go here. And also console screen space. Like, I've got a Steam Deck, and I think we'll be doing a lot of testing on the Steam Deck. So we're going to work on the cutaway system today. Let's see. So right now, all I've got is the accumulator for it. We then need a cutaway coordinates. I have that. Okay. Sorry if we're getting some weird S sounds here. I'm like overemphasizing those. Oh yeah, you need to look at controller support soon. Yeah, I'm trying to do it as early as possible. Just because, like, you know, Into the Breach has really good controller support, but as far as I know, FTL never got controller support. And, like, kind of a shame. I would like to. I mean, I could probably play that game with a Steam controller on my Steam Deck. Maybe I couldn't because it doesn't have a USB slot. I actually don't know if the Steam Deck has a regular USB slot or not. I feel like it doesn't, but maybe it does. Okay, so we just want Just want the cutaway accumulator. Should be fine. This just truncates it, right? So that should be fine. Yeah, you didn't start with it from the get-go, and it feels like a huge chore. Yeah. I'm trying to. I read enough about, you know, some things that you need to think about from the get-go, and one of them was input. The other one was modding support, which we need to address sooner than later, because I think I'm going to end up making an in-game tile map editor, which will probably just very heavily lean on Godot's own tile map implementation. We'll just probably extend it for use in-game. Because we have some interesting challenges for tile map editing. Like, I want these double doors. I want to change the default so that the children are editable. Is that just a project setting? Or is it an editor setting? Yeah, I don't know. Maybe, I hope it's not a per object thing. Well, children, so like... Oh, that's backwards. Oh, I should have just played it backwards. So, play backwards. So this is a 2-tile wide door. So I can't actually place it in the tile map and have it take up 2 tiles at the moment as a single object. So I think we actually have to split this up into 2 separate objects, which means we need like a tile map painting system, because I need to be able to mark one tile, have it look at the wall next to it and say, you know, is there a wall behind me and a blank space in front of me? You know, we probably want to put the other half of the door here. So we want to look at that. Still not super happy with how that looks, but whatever. That is like the least of our problems. We gotta figure out how to enable this by default. Editable children. Disabling editable and it will cause all to be rid of it. So they're not? Okay, interesting. I guess I don't really want to do that during edit time. I'm still tired. I'm still not used to waking up at like 5:30 in the morning. During the week of GDC, I very much had like a late night sleep schedule. Even though I didn't really go to parties. I went to like one party. I went to like the Godot party, but still. I'm just like a little foggy, a little brain foggy. Okay, so our chief problem, let's ignore the doors for now and the fact that they're not part of the tile map, and let's just work on this peeling system. This will probably belong to the tile map itself. So the thing that I'm hung up on a little bit is, like, we've drawn out this one tile map. And we either need to use this as the source, but not draw it, or we need to have another tile map and draw it. What the heck have we been making? Yeah. Somehow not really used tile maps in 1.5 years of making games here and there. Yeah, this is my first real go with Godot in general and tile maps. From what I hear, tile maps had maybe not a great rap in Godot 3, but in Godot 4 they're a lot improved. You know, we don't really need to use tile maps per se, but I was messing around with like trying to do my own tile map thing with nodes, and it is not friendly. We're probably just going to use tile maps now and probably either partly rewrite them or just extend them. We'll probably end up doing the same thing with A-Star. Just, you know, get away with what we can for now and then rewrite a more complex version when we need to. So I guess let's put a script on our tile map here. We were previously using the shipboard script, which has all our old 2D stuff in it. I don't really want to get rid of it at the moment. So let's make a new one, just call it like ship cutaway or something like that. Yeah, that'll be good, because then we can have a separate tile map that is responsible for more of the gameplay stuff. Oh, that's gonna be hard. I'm just dealing with the fact that you can't hide, as far as I know, you can't hide a tile. You can hide a layer, but I can't be like, this floor tile is here, but I don't want you to render it. So like we have to erase it and then know what was there and then add it back. Which, I mean, I guess we don't technically need a whole additional tile map. We could just save out the tile info into some kind of series of arrays or dictionary or whatever. We don't need to actually make a new tile map, but we could. That would probably be the simplest way. You feel like you've seen someone hide it before? I mean, yeah, it's trivial to like hide a layer. But as far as an individual tile, yeah, let's look into that more. Let's bring up the trusty docs. I'm still using the in-engine editor. I was like talking to like the JetBrains people and like asking them how good their Godot support is for Writer, and it's like really good. And my Writer subscription is going to expire soon if I don't renew it, so I'm like, I should renew it. But I kind of prefer just to do everything in engine here. But I guess I'll want to keep the Writer around in case I ever end up doing like a major refactor and want to be able to see like side-by-side script editing windows and stuff. So what are we looking for? So we're looking for some kind of set cell control. Or maybe not set cell. You were using VS Code. I considered using VS Code. I'm not gonna lie, if I went to VS Code, it would probably mainly be for Copilot. So there's a race cell, which is like, you know, okay. So let's see if there's something we can maybe do. Instead of erasing a cell, we could maybe, you know what we could have is we could have invisible, like we could take the tile set and basically have invisible versions of the tiles that share the same custom data layers. So the tile continues to function. You know, like let's say we have walkable tiles or, you know, whatever. Like whatever custom data layer we have, we could just have an invisible version of the same tile. And we could retain everything about it without having to draw it visually, and then we wouldn't lose the information about what kind of tile it would be because we would keep the source ID the same. Oh yeah, all the other plugins get diff highlights and stuff. Yeah, I don't have any. I need to try like GitHub Desktop or something. I think I saw Jotson using it and it looked pretty dope. I'm like usually just using like Git CLI, which is like, you know, not amazing, but it works. Yeah, let's maybe think about doing that, because this way we don't need... Let's think about that for another second here, because the other thing, which we're not addressing now, but we need to keep... Yeah, the CLI works. Yeah, because like the Git there's a Git plugin, but I feel like it's not updated very quickly, and I'm like trying to be very conservative about what Godot plugins I go with.
All right, let's bring that beat back.
Just trying to control my dependencies for as long as I can until I run into like legitimate blockers. Probably happen sooner than later. You use the GitHub desktop app? Yeah, I'm gonna try that. I'll try it. Thought the CLI was like a good opportunity to like be more comfortable doing CLI stuff, which I am generally not. Lo-fi station has been good today. Sometimes I'm like pretty annoyed with it. This is pretty dope. Like that song at the risk of having to overhear it. Anyway, what I was saying is we also need to handle rotations. And I think we can take, you know, if we draw one of these, but we fully draw it, like, you know, like with the walls, like if we introduce the foreground walls and we draw those on. Then we can probably extrapolate everything we need from just a single tile map and generate the information we would need for a rotation. It's interesting, but you don't know enough tile maps to know for sure if it's useful. Oh, modulating single tiles. Oh. Let's read more. Oh, this is also multiplied with the per tile modulate property. They might mean per tile as in like the tile set. Alright. Top comment. We need to implement both tilemap.use tile data runtime update. That makes sense. And tilemap tile data runtime update. And change the tile data.modulate property. See, I'm a little concerned about manipulating the tile data. Hey, Enomoth, is this a crossover episode? Crossover with what? Digital nerds. Oh, have you been watching Two Nerdy Nerds? Okay, I get it. Nice. Yeah, when are you streaming Two Nerdy Nerds? I have not caught you. But part of that is probably because I don't just like leave Twitch up, which I should, just so I get the good go live notifications. During work, I've been like watching stupid stuff like the Clone Wars or something like mindless in the background. I should be hanging out on Twitch more. Sandwich in space. So this looks like super easy. The top function's called by the engine, right, because it's built in. Should always return 1. That makes sense. This also makes sense. Why not to do that? Oh, so this gives us the tile data. Yeah, I'm a little... I thought tile data was like a reference to the tile set. So I don't understand how that's not just... Like if we don't if we modulate a tile of the tile set, or the tile data, I thought that would change all tiles, all of the same kind of tile in the tile data, but maybe in the tile set, but maybe I'm wrong. You're in the UK, so time zone might be off of it. Yeah, for sure. You stream weekends and Tuesdays. Oh, you'll be live later today. I'm gonna keep an eye out and do my best. I only have one work meeting today, so I should be able to keep an eye on Twitch for most of the day. So we just need to mark the coordinates that we want to hide. And this system will give us like a list of coordinates. This looks awesome. This might actually work. No, I definitely want to tune in. I mean, part of the reason why I've picked this time to stream, which is actually quite unfortunate for me, because this is like, whenever I'm about ready to go live, it's like, Jotson has gone live. Jackie Coates has gone live. It's like, this is like the Godot streamer hour here. And I don't seem to get a lot of people popping in until like 9:30 anyway, for like an hour from now, which is like when I leave. So it's like I haven't totally found the right time for streaming, but I do like this time because it's like super accessible for like everyone from here to like Eastern Europe. Like it's like this huge span of the earth. This is like a good time for streaming. I've considered streaming at night my time, but then I don't get anybody like in America because I'm on the West Coast, and I would kind of get the opposite half of the world. So I guess I would get the Aussies, but they're all watching Adam C. Eunice, who is an amazing streamer and is usually the streamer that I'm watching at night. like my Adam is like my pixel art sensei. You can't work and watch Jackie at the same time. Yeah. Yeah, as soon as she went live, someone like triggered one of her like crazy like donation reward songs, which was like pretty wild. And it was yeah, the stuff I need to hook up more of that. I need some more. I need some kind of. I mean, it doesn't really matter right now because I get like one follow a day, but if that. But I will need to start doing some stream alerts. But I'm gonna try very hard to like keep them super chill and non-intrusive. I need them just enough so that I can like actually notice. Like the one time someone actually chatted me on YouTube who was actually watching me live, I like didn't notice it because I don't expect anybody to do it. And it's in like a separate window. Okay, I'm letting myself get distracted. This is kind of cool. I mean, the way this is structured is really nice. It's kind of like it's almost like a fragment function for the tile map. Like it's a simple engine call that it makes. It seems to make for every coordinate of every layer if you enable this, which explains why they say like don't use tile data runtime update if you don't need it. But it's like pretty great. It's pretty great if you need to do something for every. If you potentially need to do something for every tile cell. And it's per frame. That's so good. All right, let's grab this. Let's grab this document link and just look here. Oh, yeah. Okay, this is fine. Let's just read this one time. I guess I need to understand more about what tile data is. In my mind, it was just like the actual instantiation of like a tile set. And I couldn't do tile specific stuff, but that's like, I guess it makes sense that you can. That's like having like a material property override. It's like the tile, maybe the tile set equivalent of a material property override. Which is pretty awesome if true, because then we can do some unique tile-specific things. Oh no, this is what I'm worried about. This is it right here. Warning. The tile data object sub-resources are the same as the one in the tile set. Modifying them might impact the whole tile set. So we need to duplicate those resources. Oh. Yeah, this might not work for us. I mean, we could just duplicate it, but... Let's look at tile data, because that's my concern. Tile data object represents a single tile in a tile set. I feel like this process that they're describing here must work. The modulate must not be the same. Like the modulate must be a property of the tile data and not the tile set. Although there is a tile set modulate, I'm pretty sure. Oh, maybe there isn't. Okay, yeah. Okay, this might actually work. Can I do this in the tile set editor? Doesn't seem like it. Okay, let's try it. Let's try this. Now, as far as what our test situation is going to be for this, that I'm not so sure. But anyway, what we want to do is we want to attach a script. We are going to make it the tile map cutaway. Doesn't need to be default really, it could just be object. Extends tile map. Let me grab, let's get back to, oh, did I close it? No, it's here. Right there. This guy. So we want use tile data runtime update. Grab this. And our condition for this is cutaway tile cells. We'll make this a dictionary that holds any cell tile that we've cut away. Which is confusingly both like so if we need to hold like a vector 3i that's the layer and the chords. So if cutaway tile cells can I define a vector 2 and then a float? No, it's just going to be either a vector 3 or individual components. Okay, that's fine. Do that. No, I can just return. Return. Oh. Yeah, there we go. So we're returning whether we've cut away this tile. Now we just need the follow-up. Doesn't think it has a modulate function, but that might just be the IntelliSense not working correctly. Or is it not a function? It's a property, isn't it? Yeah, okay. Whoops. So it's either going to be on or off, huh? So in addition to a cutaway, we want like a restore, I think. Maybe I don't want to track it this way. There's probably a better way to track that than to have two separate lists. But I can't think of it right now, so we're just going to do this. Expected expression after... Does this not work? A little long now, but whatever. Open this so I can read it a little easier. Oh, too many parentheses. Okay, so I guess if it's a dictionary, we can actually specify. I was using this as just like a hash set. But if it's a dictionary, we can actually say, look, we either want to hide this or not hide it. So if it has it, then we're going to process it. But now we can actually get the value of it. I was not using the tools that have been given to me here. Does it modulate? Is it it's a color, okay. So what we actually want to do then, do like a ternary operator. Use truthy value if else falsy value. Okay, okay, sure. It's their ternary operator. Okay, cool. Because if the dictionary, we'll just have a dictionary that's true or false. So if its cutaway is true, it means we want to hide it. If it's false, and we'll just change the true to false for one frame and then delete it from the dictionary if it's been false for more than one frame. or whatever. We'll delete it the following frame. Should be good. I'm excited to see if this works. The best way to test this will probably just be to add cells to this, just using input for now. It's probably the simplest test. Let's actually just do input event. Actually, we're going to do it in process because I want access to is action just pressed. We won't normally do it here, but I just want to test this. Select maybe? Yeah, let's just use select. If action is just select, press select. Let's grab the mouse position. Don't want to rewrite it. Just say just use the top layer for now, just for this testing purposes. Don't need mouse position right now. It's our own local to map. Probably should put these after process. So let's grab trying to get better about type safety here. Let's just grab get used cells for the first layer. Oh, we need to save it somewhere. Map cells. What does this give us back? An array of vector 2i. Okay. So we'll grab that and we'll say if cells has hostile, If the cutaway tile cells doesn't have just assign this, and we'll make it true. Now we'll just clean it up. We'll say for tile cell in cutaway tile cells. Can I just say if tile cell is not mouse tile? I just like their plain English syntax. Expected in after not in content test operator. I guess not. I'm just getting used to it. I don't want to do this exclamation point equal. I just want to do the traditional not equals. There's like no reason not to do it. I really like this plain English stuff. Even though it's kind of framed weirdly sometimes. Cutaway tile cells. You can just say if tile cell. If tile cell, right? Because it's a Boolean. Now is this passed by reference? No, it should just be like a value, right? So we need to. You also use not more often than not. Yeah. So, can I just say, I probably need to assign it back what I want to do. I can probably read from tile cell, but if I'm assigning back, I should probably assign directly back to the dictionary. That is what my brain is telling me is correct. I don't need an if. What am I doing? I'm assigning. I want an else. That was a. So if cutaway tile map cells. Oh no, so we can just say if tile cell because we want to know if it's true. I mean, we're basically just saying this, which should be the same as just this. Sometimes you get in trouble because you're like, it's like, yes, this is valid. And it's like, no, we're evaluating a Boolean, so we should be able to just say if tile cell. Then what we want to do is say cutaway tile cells. Tile cell is false. Else. Cutaway tile cells dot erase tile cell. So if it was true, so if we were hiding it, if we were cutting it away, we want to say false so that we'll fix it here. And then the next frame, we'll just get rid of it. Assuming I spell things correctly. Okay, simple test case should work. Will undoubtedly error out the first time. Because I undoubtedly messed something up. But let's see, it's only going to work on this top section, if it works at all. But it'll probably crash on startup. Okay, it does nothing, which I guess is better than crashing. Debugger. Error. No, I know delta's never used. So I am missing something here. Okay, use cells, that should be good. Get rid of that error by just underscoring our delta. If input O is select, I actually don't want it to just be select. I want it to do it all the time. Just for testing purposes. Crash. Oh, I'm mixing my vector 2i's and vector 3i's here. Invalid operand in operator not equal. Yeah. So your vector 3i is not equal to. Let's just say. So the tile cell is vector 3i. So yeah, let's just define this. Let's this. A tile on layer. It's a layered tile. Implying we've smooshed the layer onto there. I like that. That wouldn't happen in C#. Yeah. There's a lot of things that wouldn't happen or would happen in C# that are often throwing me for a loop. But we're learning about it. I strongly define the type of a dictionary here. Is that a thing? Should be. Maybe it's not. Maybe it doesn't matter. So we could say, yeah, whatever, who cares? I see these little gray numbers and I'm like, oh, I could define this type. What would that even look like? It would be like that. Only arrays can specify the collection element type. Yeah, I don't know how to strongly type dictionaries in Godot. I would like to, but it's not important right now. Okay, I'm mousing over stuff. Nothing's happening. No errors. Don't think I can. Yeah, okay, that's fine. I like try to avoid variance as much as possible, but if I was really upset about it, I would just have like matching arrays or something like that. I would just have like a key array and a value array. And I would make them each like packed arrays or whatever, like statically typed arrays or something. But that's performance optimization that we don't care about. So why is this not doing anything? So local to map, it's mapping my mouse position to the tile position. Tile map cells. So if tile map cells dot has mouse tile, so we're never doing this. So this is never happening seemingly. So if not cutaway tile cells dot has layered tile. Breakpoint this. See if we're not actually doing this or we're just not visibly doing it. Okay, so we are doing this. Okay, so the problem is not this. Let's just run this for a second and we'll try to add remote response dictionary size 25. Well, it's not cleaning itself up, so I'll say that for it. I like how it's on. I like how that breaks that down to on and not true. So it's keeping track of the tiles that we've moused over, so that's good. Let's just watch this. Are any of them being named to true? So it's not cleaning these up, which is a problem. Why is that? Tile cell and cutaway tile cells. Tile cell is not equal to layered tile. The layered tile is just the mouse tile. Add the evaluator just for sanity's sake. So let's run this. Let's look at the remote. Bring this up in the inspector. Let's just keep an eye on that. So this should never go. The dictionary size should never be like more than 1 or 2. Oh. Invalid operands, vector3i and bool. Oh. This is just getting me the key. Oh, that's interesting. I thought if I did a for iteration over a dictionary, I would be getting the values. But I'm actually getting the keys. Okay, we're iterating over the keys. Oh, that's okay. That makes a lot more sense. So we need to say cutaway tile cells tile cell. That was a misunderstanding for me. Thought we were iterating over the values. But just getting the key. Actually, yeah, I guess that it totally makes sense why that's the way that works. So this should function the way we think it should now, I think. Let's check the remote. Let's keep an eye on that dictionary size. Yeah, it should be like, yeah, at most 2. So it's between 1 and 2. That is correct. Let's open this. God, we're on that. Okay, so it's... Okay, so occasionally we're seeing the one that's off. That was weird that there was a frame where 2 of them were on at the same time, but that's probably just, we're doing this every frame, so maybe there's a delay in the logging. To be more readable, you can iterate over dictionary.keys instead. Cool. I don't like that turned into a link. Like almost clicked on it. Okay, so I can specify dictionary.keys or dictionary.values. That's nice. What am I picking up this coffee cup for? It is cold. The coffee is cold. And useless to me. Okay, so this part should be working. This part is not working, as far as we can tell. I'm wondering why. Villanati, thank you for the follow. Welcome to the stream. We're trying some tile map data modulation here. We're trying to hide tiles. It's so far not going the way we want it to. But we're just trying to hide. We're trying to hide tiles that we're mousing over as a test for something. I don't think we're getting any errors though. No, so this just isn't doing what we think. Do I need to... Is there like something I need to enable here? I don't think so. Anyway, how's it going, Quillinati? Am I being a fool, and is there something I need to declare, like, on ready? Like, I need to declare that we are updating. That we actually are doing this. Tile map. Oh, notify runtime tile data update, maybe? This will trigger a tile map update. Updating the tile map is computationally expensive and may impact performance. Well, we're doing it. We're gonna do it. It's probably the most expensive thing we do. Well, that touches the engine. This does not trigger a direct update of the tile map. I feel like eventually I think we'll want to do this, because we don't necessarily want to update the tile thing every frame. We only want to do it if the dictionary's size is like greater than 0. So we don't want to use force update, that's deprecated. Bool, use time. Let's look at these. Note, if the result of this function should changed, not really sure what they mean by that, but use notify runtime tile data update. Well, let's just throw that in here and see if that does it for us. Let's just do it every frame. Who cares? We can define the layer because right now we're only changing layer 0. Let's see if that does it for us. Oh, shit. It's not like exactly what we want, but that's because I picked the wrong constant. Look at this. There's a bit of an issue, but we're not actually using... Oh man, I should use this for like mouse selection or something. Or some highlighting. I could do some simple, not highlighting, but you know, I could do some simple stuff with this kind of a just tile modulate system. That's awesome that it works like a material property override, that it's not like a whole tile data thing. I don't know what it's doing under the hood. Like, I don't know if it's making like copies of the tile set. I guess it's not. I guess modulate really is a property of the tile data and not the tile set, even though they kind of make different claims in some of the documentation. But that's awesome. Yeah, it's working. Now we just need to pick the correct value. So we don't want colored out black. Is there like a what are my options? Ooh, Alice blue, antique white. Oh god, and it previews these. Godot is so good. Yeah, it must work like other no modulation. Yeah, it's a filter on the sprite. Yeah, that's awesome. I don't know why. I mean, they're a little misleading about the. I love the previews, the color previews here. This is beautiful. There's so many color choices. I should just get a dump of all of these colors and like use this as my color ramp. I mean, it's that I'm not totally serious right now, but I'm also not being not serious. I could deal with worse color ramps than just grabbing the Godot defaults. All right, so what were we looking for? Like a clear. I'll probably just need to do like 0 or something. I thought black was going to be 0, but it makes sense that black has like full opacity. What am I looking for? Probably not HTML. From HSV. Yeah, it looks like maybe I need to define my own color constant for clear. Doesn't look like it's here. Yeah, that's fine. Not a big deal. Let's call it no color. Or maybe we'll just call it transparent. That seems fine. I broke something. Oh yeah. Yeah, I know, color 0, 0, 0, 0. I was trying to do something a little more descriptive, but just all zeros is probably fine. I don't love this, how like the colon is up close to the variable, but if I'm defining the type, there's like a space. Although I guess this looks fine, because it still gives you the space for the equal. I think I'm going to use this. I don't think this is the correct syntax style they would prefer, but I kind of prefer this. I feel like this is more consistent, because you get the one space, then the equal, but you also get the colon right up against the variable. So it feels more like a combination of the two. I feel like that's not what their style guide says to do, but I try to never let style guides keep me from making weird choices. If I plan to fade the color, the color actually matters. If you use to black, it will fade to transparent, but also fade to black at the same time. That's a good point. We'll probably eventually do like a lerp. Alright, fine. I feel like this evaluates the same thing, but maybe not. Maybe you're right. Alright, that should work. Oh shit, look at that. Alright. We don't even need we've managed to work around the issue of having any kind of multiple tile maps. We have achieved invisibility without destroying information. I love that. You love that. You love to see it. There is an issue. You probably can't see it, but the tile it's basically not repainting the tiles correctly. Because there's an outline that should be here that is not. You mean using color white 0 will prevent the fade to black? Oh, if I use white, it will only fade to transparent, keeping sprite colors. Oh, yeah, no. So the way I've written it, if it fades, it will fade to black, even if whether I write it 0, 0 or not. So wise. But yeah, so we have a slight problem in terms of tile painting, like patterns, like terrain painting, because it should repaint as if there was no tile at all. But maybe that's not an issue, because we're actually never going to have this situation where, because it's only an issue when we're taking out a chunk in the middle. And the way this system works, it's never going to take a chunk out of the middle. It'll only ever peel back the edges. So we might actually never have this problem because of the way I've drawn the sprites, where I always put the outline there, but the outline is getting overridden by the tile cell in front of it, which I did not write for this purpose, but that is beautiful. Okay, so let's see if we can... Okay. I just want to check something real quick now. I want to look at my cutaway input force, because I was tuning this yesterday for controller, and I just want to make sure that I'm getting similar behavior using the keyboard. So we're just going to like check this real quick. Okay, so the keyboard actually never goes... Oh no, never mind. So the keyboard is not analog, it's digital. It's only ever giving me the same value, which is like not a problem. It's actually kind of convenient in a way. Actually might have hooked these up backwards. But that's only because Godot's coordinate system is upside down. Yeah, thank you. It is looking kind of cool. I think it's going to look really great as we peel back the layers. I think the issue that we're going to have is deciding how we do the peel backs. Because this is obviously like an artificial example, because I'm not actually drawing the foreground walls. But the actual example will have the foreground walls present, and we'll need to peel them back. So the real question is, like, do you want to peel the walls back but leave the floors? So like, do you want them on an offset? Or do you want it all to be one? I guess we're just going to need it to get it going and decide. I was kind of annoyed before that that I need to manually calculate the offsets for these layers, but because of how they're drawn, so I think I'm going to need to do that still. like, because the tile map system, I'm going to need to compensate for the fact that they're up and over for calculating this stuff. But let's just do the simplest implementation. I got another like 20 minutes or so here. 30 minutes max. I started a little late today, so I'll probably go a little late. I really want to make sure I get my 2 hours in. Okay, so let's check my cutaway coordinates here. Make sure I set these up correctly. I kind of did it last night just while hanging out with some people. Ooh. What is that? Why is it reporting wildly different values each frame? It's like flipping between min and max. What did I do? Oh, I reversed the min and max. I think is what I did. Or no, I didn't. Clamp wants min first, right? Yeah. Oh no, I did flip them. Okay. Lol. This is why we check our work. Actually, we need to check to see what our cutaway min and max actually is. So let's look at that right now. So let's go into our tile map. So it looks like the max. Yeah, I really need to. I need to get the Godot coordinate system in my head straight. I'm taking the inputs upside down, I think. So I think I need to reverse that either in the input manager or when I'm adding them. I don't totally love the idea of fixing in the input manager. Anyway, whatever. So our max appears to be 1819 for some reason. Still don't love how there's an offset here. Can I fix that? I really want this tile to be the 0 tile, but right now it's -1, 0. I want to change that. And I feel like I can using an offset. I just don't remember where the offset is. Tile size is defined here. Do I need to define the offset in code? That doesn't seem right to me. Because tilemap does have an offset value. I mean, I guess I could just use transform and slightly shift the whole thing. Is that the way to do it, maybe? So we would all write 16.4. Oh, the other way. We would want to go -16.4. It made things worse. -8. Oh no, -4. Okay, so now 0, 0 corresponds to what I expect it to. Now everything is obviously offset incorrectly. Can we do that a different way? The script. Let's look at tile map. Like, that's such a nitpicky random thing, but bothers me a little bit. Like, I'm sure there's a good reason that's how it works, but I cannot figure out why. I thought there was an offset. Maybe there isn't. Maybe I'm thinking of A-Star, the A-Star Grid 2D. Maybe that has an offset, and this does not appear to have an offset. It's like I'm gonna need to use a position to do something about that. I'm hesitant to do that for rotations because of rotations. Whatever. Let's fix this the other way. Let's fix this by changing our minimum and maximum extents to be vectors. In which case, I think it was 18 and 19. Yeah, 18, 19. That's the easiest way to fix it. I'm kind of like a fiend for symmetry. It's kind of a problem. Oh, do these need to be just vector 2s and not vector 2i's for some reason? I think they do. Okay, so the maximum extents is 18 and 19. What's the minimum extent? Negative 18, negative 17. Okay. Now we need to fix this, because yes, add in a dot x dot y.
Let it ride for now.
So also cutaway coordinates should start as maximum. Actually, we can just say it equals cutaway max. So that's where we want to start. And we similarly would want to start the accumulator as well at cutaway max. Oh, this would actually want to be vector 2i cutaway max. That might give us a slight issue if we ever truncate below max value. So we might need to add like a round here, but like for safety, like in theory, we should do this. Let's see. I feel like this is the safe way to do this. Also seems kind of like more than it needs to be. Yeah. And now we need to do X, Y. I want to write some helper functions for stuff like this because I feel like we're going to be casting to vector 2i from vector 2's a lot, and we are going to want to account for potential rounding errors or truncation errors. Make some... I don't think there are any utilities for helping us with that. Probably eventually put some like a stupid like GD extension helper class in or something. Or eventually we'll extend A star 3D with some of those, because we're gonna be constantly casting between tile maps and like a layer aware pathfinding system. Let's just double check some of this stuff here. Sorry that we've reached kind of the more boring phase of this is maybe too sensitive, but it's okay. Making sure all this works. This is not working the way I set it up to. Oh, because here, I'll tell you why. So I have different behavior in mind for how this works. I put it here, just unhide it to make it more visible, which is that because we're doing a dimetric thing. So here's where I could probably have highlighted all of this and hit Control K to like undo this or something. There probably must have been a way to undo that. So we can't do input force. That won't work. Oh no, it will work because we're just checking the sign. So basically, here, there's an easier way to do this. Leonardo to the rescue. So this is like what we're taking in, and we're actually not taking this in. We're taking the opposite of this in because well, I guess the X is right because right is positive, but I've accidentally flipped the Y because I'm sane. And Y is up in my mind, not down, like it is in Godot. Screen axes is maybe the wrong word for this. Probably call it like 2D world axes. Calling it screen axes here. Maybe that is right, assuming the Godot screen starts in the upper left and goes down to the right, but it's not exactly accurate. But anyway, whatever. Let's look at this cutaway part, because the cutaway part is what's interesting. So we're mapping the cursor input, essentially, to the cutaway input, which is pretty trivial to do. I've done it before. I don't exactly remember the easiest formulas for doing this, so to help me remember the logic, I just wrote out the cases. And this is like maybe the ugliest way to do it would be to match the signs and control the cutaway input force that way, like flip the signs of it. Or constrain it that way so that we get the right, so that we get, oh, not that, so we get this behavior that we want. That's probably the way to do it like now. It's probably the simplest way to do it. Yeah, rotation matrix. I, in theory, know how to do this. Like my last version of this game in Unity was like a 3D voxel game, which was like converting from like screen space to like isometric space like all the time. I think for like traumatic memory reasons, I expunged the knowledge of how to do that from my brain. So I currently, at this very moment, don't remember anything about rotation matrices, but I need to brush up on I need to go look at my old code and maybe watch some YouTube videos to remember how that stuff works. This is the one primary problem of not being like not having a mathematics or computer science background. I'm like not good at like linear algebra and stuff, or any kind of vector thing. I'm like not good at the fundamentals, which makes life kind of difficult for me. But we can implement this right now using this, or we can actually just ignore this for now and just go with what we have right now. Let me just fix the input in the project settings first. It's probably the first thing to do. So left and right are correct, because that's consistent, but we need to flip up and down. I think we need to rename cutaway up and cutaway down, because that's not really what they're doing. It's like... it's more like cutaway... Yeah, this is kind of weird. Let's just flip up and down for now. I think that's like not helpful in terms of expression, because we're like literally plugging in the up stick for the down and the down stick for the up. I guess we can just keep this and then change how we plug it in. No, because oh no, we can just I know it. Let's leave it like this. And let's just yeah, I don't know. I don't know about that. I'm having a hard time what's the right word? It is not hard at all, says Xenomoth. You're a better programmer or mathematician than I am. Which makes sense. You live day to day in the numbers. I really don't. I'm just a person who happens to program, not like a person who's like good at it. Let's just flip these for now and call that a day, even though it's like super confusing. I'll add a note here to do. Reversing the polarity does not solve the counterintuitive control issues here. Reversing the polarity. I was thinking about this. I was thinking about Star Trek, and I was like, dude, I think we're gonna have a thing where like if your crew members are like dealing with a problem, like they're on a console and they're typing and they're like working on something, they're working on a problem, I think you're gonna be able to like speed them up by like clicking on them, by like manually intervening and being like, have you tried reversing the polarity or something like that? And we'll make a fun little icon that's like an upside down thing, because that's how you solve like 90% of Star Trek problems, right? You reverse the polarity. I need to watch some more Star Trek, and just I need to write down more of the technobabble, because normally I just kind of absorb the technobabble in my mind, but I need to write more of it down. I'm on a Deep Space Nine rewatch right now, but I wasn't doing this before, but I need to learn more from Chief Miles O'Brien. So let's ignore this for now. Let's do an implementation that's just based on the raw. So I think we will want to change the cutaway input force based on this logic of, but I'll off stream I'll look about how I did a simple simple rotation matrix stuff. Anyway, let's make sure we're doing this correctly now. Oh, not what I want at all. Hide all this again. Okay, so is this a to-do or a note? I think it's more of a note. I like this little like kind of markdown stuff here or whatever it is. This little comment syntax stuff. I need to look up what all of them are. Is there like warning? Oh, there is. Sick. Note. Wonder what other ones there are. Look that up. Look up their comment highlighting stuff. That seems really cool. Anyway, so we are going to. So we've got our inputs here. We know what the cutaway coordinates are, which is basically the curtain at which the cutaway currently is. So let's go to our tilemap cutaway and let's rewrite this based on where the curtain is. Now, what's going to be the easiest way to do that? We'll need to iterate over the cutaway tile. We'll need to iterate over the tile map cells. I guess we just say if either the tile map cells X or its Y is less than the cutaway coordinates, then we hide it. Seems like the right thing to do. So can I get used cells without regard for layer? No, I have to get the layer. So let's just try it with the top layer for now, and then we'll figure out what we're gonna need to iterate through this, I guess, actually. Can I tell how many layers there are? Get layers count. Sweet. So let's say 4.
Yo.
Layer in range. Get layer count. Still not super good at doing their, like, whatever that iterating over index equivalent is. Get layer count not found in base self. Really? Find the wrong... Yeah, I thought it was a thing that belonged to the tile map. Get layers count. Okay. Get layers count. Feel like this will work. It's just for layer.
Yo.
And I guess we also want to say for tile cell in get used cells layer. And then we want to change this to a vector 3i. So we're going to include tile cells, tile map cells, and so now we should be getting all of them. Oops. We're running up against the clock here. I have a meeting like right at 10, but I'm like really committed to streaming for 2 hours every day. So we're gonna push through for another like 7-8 minutes. Let's see what we can do. Let's see if we can at least get this working. So we should be filling this tile map cells array with all of our tiles for every layer, assuming I wrote this correctly, which I almost certainly didn't. And then we don't need this, so let's rewrite this. Use tile map. Oh yeah, fine. So we're gonna say for tile map cell. No, we'll just say for tile cell in tile map cells. Kind of a lot to be iterating over this every single frame here. We can do something with notify runtime tile and data update to prevent that from running every single frame. We'll see. We'll have to keep track of our changes, which we'll do eventually. Tile map is one word, but I guess it's not actually one word. So we're underscoring it, but cutaway we're treating as one word. I'm like getting distracted by syntax details, as one does. So for each tile cell in the tile map cells, we are going to, we're going to say if tile cell dot x is less than it's greater than. Let's grab the input. Let's do this. So variable cutaway coordinates is input dot cutaway coordinates. Let's grab that right away. Send cutaway coordinates dot x or tile cell dot y is greater than cutaway coordinates dot y. So if either of these exceed our cutaway coordinates, then we are going to we're going to say if not, say this. Cutaway coordinates does not exist in base input, but not input, obviously. Input handler. There we go. So we'll go through each cell. Else if tiles. So if it doesn't, if it does not exceed these things, we'll see if it has it. It has the tile cell. It's not else if, it's elif. It's going to continue to mess me up for quite some time. That's like a weird optimization to shorten it to elif. Then we want to declare it as false if we do have it, but we don't need it. So if it has it and if it's true, false, it's already false, we will delete it. All right, that should be pretty much And then for now, we're just going to notify. Just going to notify that this has happened, and we'll put a to-do here. To-do. Add. Keep track of what layers, if any, need updating. Limit so that we can limit the number of calls. All right, let's see what the crash is. Is it going to crash on startup? Is it going to crash when I try to do something? Oh my god. It kind of works. What it's not doing is compensating for the fact that it's on an offset. But you know what? I really don't care right now. It's bugging out a little bit. Why is that still there? What is it? Okay, that was weird. It sort of works. It doesn't work the way we would want it to. It also won't get rid of the last one, which is fine. We don't want it to. But ostensibly it works. We just need to add a per layer offset so that it works when we expect it to, because right now it's like at a slant. Yeah, if we just add a per layer offset, we can fix that pretty easily. But I'm out of time today. But that's amazing. It worked the first time. We love it. Obviously, this level design does not benefit from this at all. And we'll need to make a new tile map that will be a better test bed for this. And that one will be a lot more dense with like walls that clearly obfuscate things behind it. But that is awesome. I can't tell if it's like laggy or if it's just like the accumulator is kind of too slow. Let's speed up the accumulator real quick, just so we can test to see how responsive it feels. Let's change the speed to 10. Oh yeah. Okay, so the responsiveness was the speed. It wasn't any performance issues here. This feels quite responsive. There are some weird, I'm seeing some issues. I don't know why occasionally a tile is being missed. It's like certain tiles too. I don't know why that's happening. Yeah, it's happening in very specific cases, but it's happening really consistently. Oh, I guess not really consistently, but it is happening. That's okay though. Yeah, we gotta see why we're leaving tiles behind here. That is exciting. We're ending on a win here. Oops. Great. Well, thanks everyone for stopping by and hanging out today. It's been really great. We'll keep working on this tomorrow. I think we're heading in a really good direction. Feeling pretty motivated. I'll look up some rotation matrix stuff in the off hours here, so I have some idea of what I'm doing when I come back. But yeah. I hope y'all have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you next time. Bye.